This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Frightening, action-packed, terrifying, explosive, thrill ride. Deep Blue Sea, rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
You know, the idea that great whites are these malicious killing machines roving the shorelines looking for some swimmer to chomp on is just pure fiction. You know, anytime there is a human attack, stay calm! It's just a case of mistaken identity. Come on, you guys! You mind explaining to me what it is you're doing with bull sharks in containment?
My company is one of the leading producers of intelligence enhancers that can actually alter the genetic structure of the brain.
They're problem-solving, learning how to learn, and they like it.
Do you actually think you can get the same results in human beings?
Our potential is greater than any machine. It just needs to be unleashed. Let me show you. We can all be gods.
Or monsters. What's going on?
Never seen him act this way.
This corridor is flooding!
We're losing pressure.
What does that mean?
Means it's gonna blow!
Whatever you've created here is teeth and muscle and killer instinct. Get out of the way!
Hey, all you Shark Week fans out there. Welcome back. It's our third summer here at Little Happy, an abandoned fishing village in the Mozambique Channel. Sharks return here each year. Their home, like ours, is under attack from climate change.
Emma, what's wrong?
A half dozen people went missing about 100 miles up the Orange River. Turns out it was bull sharks.
So what do we do?
There is a boy in the field.
It's big.
Shark!
Brown, where are you?
There he is. Those sharks have been altered, engineered. They're not sharks.
Climate change is making them highly aggressive towards everything.
Get out of the water!
It's all about survival, folks.
That was close.
We mixed. We loaded it. We edited it.
Sometimes we get so deep into conversation that we have separate segments worthy of their own place in the sun.
Here is a reshuffled mini episode.
There's loads of times on Summer Sharks where Haley has actually texted me halfway through the movie saying, you know, how long
is it over yet?
Through this movie, So I think, yeah, the discussion is going to be interesting in this one. But yeah, it's over the last few years, I mean, we've come to sort of scrape the bottom of the ocean basically with the shark movies, because the more you see, it's like, and we didn't want to go down the sort of 5, 6, 7 headed shark attack route because I have no time for those movies. Life is too short when you get to that point. Although having that, I did check 5 headed shark attack out recently because it was playing on TV, and I was correct in not picking it for the podcast because it is so boring. And it's not just a badly made shark movie. It's so boring as well. So and it's a shame. I mean, if the one thing you can't commit in a shark movie is to be boring, you need some action. You need some people getting munched upon. You need some excitement. And yeah, 5 headed shark attack just didn't do it for me at all. And this is somebody who quite happily sat through The Last Shark. But at least The Last Shark's got something going for it, even if it's the sort of bizarre choices that it makes. The subplot where you've got the kid who's disabled, but while they're explaining to him about his life and how he got to be there, there's some fairground music playing in the background. So you've got this weird sort of emotional scene playing out, but then you've got that kind of music going in the background. I'm thinking, this is insane.
Yeah, I get, and I have encountered some of those filmmakers, I'll be sarcastic, just like on social media, and they get all annoyed when people bash their movies. It's like, well, you didn't make art, you made a rip-off movie, but like, even by rip-off standards, I feel like you guys just did this on purpose, which makes me wonder, why even make a movie? Like, if I'm going to make a movie, there better be a bunch of legit comedy, not unintentional comedy. And I get it. I understand the whole Sharknado craze, but then there's all this other stuff where I'm like, still, like, it's a real chore when I can't get attached to anything. You know, it's a lot to ask just to get to the 90 minutes. All of a sudden feels like 5 hours. When
Depends what sort of mood I'm in as well.
We sound contrarian, but guys, really, like when you've seen so many bad movies in a row and you're just you can actually finish the movie without having to restart it so many times or tempted to fast forward. Like that's a plus.
There's loads of...
So then we got the Deep Blue Sea movie franchise. So as we are speaking, like, you know, it was by Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Die Hard 2 director Rennie Harlan, and basically was like one of his. It was literally like his last movie that made any kind of money whatsoever, and then it's just so funny how, as we're speaking, he's working on a shark movie with, I kid you not, Ben Kingsley and Aaron Eckhart, where basically they're trapped on a plane in the middle of an ocean. So basically, he's doing an unofficial sequel. Think of it like how all these other filmmakers, like that the studios are making movies, like they're doing spiritual sequels to their work, while studios are doing direct-to-video sequels to the movie, and that's basically what's happening here. He's doing his own other shark movie, and while Warner Brothers has been pumping out, I kid you not, like, you know, as of this recording, there's a 4th one coming out, and
I
have not seen part 3. I have seen part 2, and I was like, wow, that was a unneeded retread. You got all these TV actors, but like part 3, basically, they were like, hey, let's add martial arts. Let's add all these other actors. Tanya Raymond, she's available. Let's have her, and she's slated to return for part 4. And I'm like, Jesus. So it's just going to go on and on and on. So I came across the first movie by accident. It was one of those, I never knew if it was good or not. I was kind of afraid to watch that movie, just the way that poster was slated. I'm like, wow, interesting. And it was a TNT TBS favorite. It was, we literally came up upon it one night, I kid you not, during Sam Jackson's famous death scene. As the main guy overseeing the whole plant. And it was one of those, I kind of had a love-hate relationship with it. Like, I would rewatch it and be like, okay, so LL Cool J, he's the chef. He's still in the show here. I don't know why Saffron Burrows, I think, is a decent model turned actress. You've seen her on Law and Order: Criminal Intent and Troy and The Bank Job, and I was just like, interesting. So she's the main scientist, but I guess where I fall apart on this movie, Stellan Skarsgård's having fun. Ronnie Cox makes a cameo. Michael Rappaport is actually serious, and Thomas Jane is reliable as the shark hunter. I think what gets it's not how all the shark deaths. There's free sharks roaming around, and they do a wacky homage recreation of all free shark deaths in Jaws 1 for free. That's fine. That's cute. That's silly. I think where I'm just beside myself in this movie is just like they kind of go the whole movie just oblivious to the fact that you're not supposed to like this scientist who gets everybody killed.
Yeah.
And then it took a test screening where they're like, oh, we could kill off LL Cool J's character and let her survive. And like, that would take away the whole point of this movie. So I don't know. I think there's some fun practical stuff, and the premise is bizarre. It is a Jurassic Park clone, but it is also kind of like, it's easy to watch. I guess the CGI really didn't date very well for me. So I have had, I have divided a lot of my friends who love this movie when I say, I don't know, I just really can't watch this anymore, even though LL Cool J is awesome in it.
I mean, it's an interesting thing, and I can watch it. I mean, it's a movie that I watched when I was much younger, and I actually blind bought it on DVD at the time because I was
a blind buy.
Yeah, totally. So I saw it in the shop and thought, right, I'm going to get this on DVD, and really, really liked it. But I appreciate why kind of people can pick holes in it because there's lots of holes to pick.
It's wild. Like, it was just a bizarre concept. I think people were just blown away by it because it was exciting, but it also had a lot of respectable actors in what felt like a direct video film. So but it was a bigger budget. So then you're just like, well, who was this for?
Well, yeah, exactly. It was probably for me and me alone.
No, it's fine. I just found it interesting because
there was an interesting thing about the test screening. You're right. I mean, LL Cool J, they spend the whole movie putting him in peril and nearly getting him killed, and then to have him die at the end, that's not really how you're supposed to play the game. You know that LL Cool J is supposed to survive that movie.
Yeah.
And the scientist who is kind of the cause of all the mayhem, having her die at the end is kind of, it's the right way to go, really.
Rennie Harlan seems nice in interviews, but it's not the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I like Saffron Burrows as an actress, but I mean, her character is kind of the one that, if she was in a slasher movie, she'd be the one that was kind of the very pious and very
unlikable
person at the camp, and you're just thinking, I'm just waiting for the bad guy to get this person.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like that in Deep Blue Sea. And to have I mean, there are movies where people that you don't want to see make to the end of the movie get to the end of it. I mean, I'm looking at you, Starship Troopers, but in this case, I mean, it's like, surely she's going to die at the end, but the way she dies at the end's kind of apologetic as well. I mean, I'm not saying that she should be kind of torn limb from limb, because that's just brutal, but the movie kind of kills her off in a very sort of ho-hum way. It's like, she's dead, but I think the test audiences were right. LL Cool J should survive. So there's no way that you can have LL.
Rennie Harlan apparently got into trouble with this previously on Cliffhanger, where he showed some more gratuitous violence and a rabbit dying, and Stallone hated the test screening so much he had to recut the movie because he was. And so I think that's just it. I think Harlan's been, ever since Elm Street 4, been so keen on just doing cheesy, simple drive-in movies, but and don't get me wrong, I know a lot of people like a lot of this stuff. I was never a fan of Cutthroat Island or 12 Rounds, so he's kind of a junk food kind of guy, and I get it. But if you like Mindhunters or Long Kiss Goodnight, that's your deal. This is probably, I think, though, his less agreeable movie, where you're just like, okay, he knew what he wanted to make. Akiva Goldsman and Alan Rich took a pass at it. They're not credited as screenwriters, but they're producers. And Trevor Rabin's score was effective. And it is wild how they used some of the same water tanks as Titanic's. Like it was staged apart and filmed in parts of Mexico. Just like, jeez. So very wild.
Yeah. I actually went to see Cutthroat Island at the cinema and then instantly regretted it.
Man.
But sitting in the cinema thinking, why am I doing this to myself? This is terrible, this movie.
It's wild. It's like, and Harlan is wild too, like his fans, like you get plenty of them who are going to go see it, much like a Michael Bay or Roland Emmerich movie, and then you get other pals of his who are like, I shouldn't have liked this, but it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. And you don't know how much of it is people actually seeing that in his movies versus what the filmmaker intended. I think he just doesn't take any of this seriously because he's been in the industry long enough. I'm just like, whatever. He's doing a simple slasher, but it's often in the form of a creature feature or action movie.
Yeah. I did see Deep Blue Sea 3. I haven't seen the second one, but we
so we both took bullets. You saw, I saw 2, you saw 3.
Yeah, 3 isn't all that bad actually. It's okay.
It seems like it was just a martial arts survival movie.
It kind of goes in slightly different directions, but still has the sharks in, and it's got more action in, and the performances are fine. And
people who know Tanya Ryman, I do think she's a decent actress. You know her probably from Goliath, Death Valley, and Malcolm in the Middle. But I know people who are fans of hers from Lost. But she was with her co-star Bryn Foster on The Last Ship. But yeah, Bryn is interesting because he's now kind of becoming a reliable martial arts B-movie star, and so it's interesting how he this was like his first movie. Well, no, it's his most latest movie credit, second to last, but he had previously just been kind of in a lot of war movies and B-action films, so it's and sci-fi dramas. So it's interesting how it's like he's getting to use his martial arts while he fights sharks.
It kind of feels a little bit shoehorned in that bit, but they do sort of pass it off as part of the plot. So.
That's basically what they did. They kind of did a Hellraiser here, where they're like, let's take unrelated stuff and put it on.
Yeah,
and it's so wild too because it shouldn't be that hard when. I mean, a lot of these movies could easily be Twilight Zone-esque episodes, of the week, but yet they're working. To everybody's credit, I really do want to be positive here. At least these people in the direct-to-video industry now are still using movie style, theater-style marketing and bringing in a lot of talent from TV, both in front of and behind the camera. So, like.
Yeah, no, I have to say that Deep Blue Sea, it's better than any third movie in a low budget series.
Has
any right to be. Yeah, I had a good time with it, and I didn't think I was going to. I mean,
they apparently filmed it in Cape Town.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, and again, a lot of these shark movies, even if they're kind of a little bit ropey in terms of maybe acting or effects or script writing, they usually find really, really nice locations to put them in. So you generally get beautiful cinematography, nice shots of sort of open vistas of water and things like that. So you do get something in most of these shark movies, even if it isn't a decent plot or effects.
I had seen other stuff by director John Pogue. He apparently went to Yale of all places. He even worked on Rollerball with LL Cool J. But yeah, you know him probably as the writer of Ghost Ship and The Skulls, and then he worked on the direct-to-video sequels and a sequel to Schwarzenegger's Eraser that no one saw, but I saw for free on HBO Max. So I think his best movie by far is probably Quarantine 2, which is just a standalone virus movie, and they just slapped that on. But he's done other stuff like The Quiet Ones and the WWE produced Blood Brother, which is a crooked cop and robbers movie.
I genuinely didn't know that there was a sequel to Eraser.
Yeah, and I pretty much took a bullet for the team. I'm like, okay, it's really not related at all. That's not really anything wrong with it. It's just kind of there. It's watchable, but not memorable. I just had it on the background. I'm like, I'm watching this on HBO Max. What is this? So kudos to him. I'm sure they basically just involved him with a lot of movies that he's been involved with, just because he would, with both the Racer and the Skulls, he was basically he had done uncredited rewrites, and so that was basically a payback. It's like, okay, you get to do inevitable sequels we're doing to all these blockbuster movies. He's mainly known as being one of the uncredited rewriters on the original Fast and Furious, so that's his ticket in the door. He's apparently been developing, like many writers in Hollywood and internationally, just been rewriting stuff and developing stuff for years. And he seems to have a reasonable digital flair. I just wonder if he would do better if he got to work on a more ambitious TV show. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just like do a 10-part miniseries instead of sequels to movies that didn't need sequels. I don't know. But hey, glad it's more watchable than it has any right to be, so that's good. So Dr. Emma Collins will return in part 4. I have no idea when it's coming out, but it's not this year.
We'll return after these messages.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked